Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Been a while since I posted a video. We were out of town for a while and I returned to some domestic plumbing disasters that took several days to fix. So I've been kind of preoccupied with that. But now I want to build a bracket to mount this thing on the pump jack trailer. And of course, this is going to invert and be suspended from above by this, because if you'll recall in the last couple of videos I posted about this, that's for a line shaft, overhead line shaft arrangement, and it mounted from the ceiling originally. So I'm going to come up with something to suspend that on the pump jack trailer, have the grind wheel about 3 or 4 inches off the deck of the trailer, and it's going to present some interesting challenges for support and all of that, so things don't flex when this belt pulley is belted up to the jack shaft off the engine. So yeah, it's interesting. I've been fooling around with a few designs, none of which that I'm really thrilled about yet, but we'll see how it goes. I'm gathering up some scrap from the horde, and we'll see what we can start coming up with. Got some angle iron out of the horde, and here's some more here. It's welded together in an old frame. I'll have to cut that apart, and yeah, that'll give me some more stock to work with. I'm thinking about using some channel iron as the base. I'm trying to keep this thing period correct, about 100 years old. And so I've got enough scrap channel iron here to make a good base, and then use angle iron for the upper. Sorry about the wind. Every time I step out to look at the steel horde, the wind pops up. Now I've got plenty of 3/8 in this old piece of scrap to cut a plate out of. That stuff's all too thick. So I think I'll torch a piece out of that. That ought to work. Well, I really don't expect you guys to make sense out of my chicken scratch here, but I think I've come up with a design that might work. Grinding wheel, belt pulley. Here's a support structure here. I've numbered each piece. Looking at it from a side view, you can see the belt pulley here. I got a 3/8 top plate, some angle iron, some channel, more angle iron. And this is going to provide the brace against the force of the belt pulling in that direction. That'll anchor down solid to the deck of the pump jack trailer. So I numbered each piece, and then I gave them their dimensions they need to be after I've spent some time with a tape measure. So I'll start cutting all of this out, notching it, and doing all the things you do to prep it. Probably run a flap disc or a wire wheel over it to clean all the rust off. Because remember, it's all scrap. And once we get that all cut and notched and everything else, we'll start tack welding it together. I'd love to have a great big old dual 3-phase bandsaw like I used to use back in the day in my shipyard career. But, you know, back then it was all about production, deadlines, get her done, get her done. Now, I kind of enjoy just sitting back. I'm not in a hurry. Nothing has to be done today. And I can watch this slow, old, well-built bandsaw slowly cut through this channel iron. And if it doesn't get done today, oh well. I'm not building a submarine. So, yeah. Enjoy the process when you're messing with scrap and fabric cobbling in your shop. Don't get in a hurry. Just kind of go with the flow. You'll find it's actually therapeutic and a lot more fun. Oh yeah, and be sure to have some Dave Brubeck wailing in the background when you're out in the shop. That's even more therapeutic. That's my highly precise and close tolerance support stand. That jack was my dad's. And the old farmhouse I grew up in was post and beam construction. My dad was always under there with that jack leveled. I'm going to have to look for the maker's mark on that. It might be a Simplex. No, that's an old Dunlap. It's a 1.5 by 10 Dunlap. I think it's time for a new torch tip. That looks hideous. Well, I'm going to get the grinder out and clean that up. Now that looks a whole lot better. Ideally, with your torch settings correct and proper tips and torch tips cleaned and all of that, you should have to do little to no grinding. But the last couple of times I've used that cutting torch, I've had that issue where things kind of gorilla glob up on me. And I've had to go after it with a grinder afterwards. So I'm going to try a new tip, see what happens. Okay, so I've got all of the items on the material list roughed out and transformed a bunch of scrap into the first phase of building a bracket, mounting bracket for the grinder. Yeah, it's starting to take shape. Okay, well, I'm going to end this one here, and on the next segment, we'll start cleaning all this iron up and notching it, fitting it together, get some tack welds thrown on it, and then we'll try fitting the grinder to it, make sure everything's going to work out. And then, yeah. Then from there, we'll finish cleaning it up, production weld it, paint it, and away we go. So thanks for watching, everybody. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.